All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First, foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, the Yakim and the Aquab scattered around the four corners of the planet Earth. All right, that have returned to the obedience of the scriptures. All right, and this is going to be pretty much a camp. All right, a sit down. Right, we're not going outside due to the weather. All right, but all right, we'll be doing this sit down. I got the brother Tasha.
Shalom. Shalom.
Got the brother Tasha with me. All right, and Lord's willing, this sit down is edifying. All right, as usual, there's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on because we're in those times. All right, we're in those times where, the Lord spoke about, all right, speeding up the days. All right, scriptures speak about, all right, Esau coming down with great wrath because he knoweth that he has a short time. All right, I forget where that is in Job 14, right, where it talks about how, the Lord has basically put Esau on a shot clock. All right, so there's a sense of urgency in this thing because this place is rapidly crumbling. All right, and things are happening on an international scale, that are hastening the destruction of America. And that's kind of what we're gonna go into, in this lesson. I have an article, that I want to touch on. But did you have anything you want to open up with?
Just saying that the time is at hand. This time for Esau Edom, is dwindling to the point where he's going to have to do something drastic. Okay, what's that? Revelation 12:12.
Yeah.
Seeing that he has but a short time. What's the paraphrase?
Yeah, I can read that real quick.
Shot.
This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. This is Revelation 12 and 12. Let me see. Salakia.
You good?
Revelation 12 and verse. Why is it not in here? Salakia. Okay, that's weird. All right, Revelation 12 and verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you who dwell in them. But woe to you, earth and sea, for the devil has come down to you in great fury, for he knows that he has but a short time."
It says woe. So what is woe? Woe is destruction. All right. It says for earth and
earth and sea, the people.
Earth and sea. So the people that are on the earth and for everything that is going on in the sea. All right. The devil Esau Edom, which is the counterpart of Satan, has come unto you. Okay, he has been pulled down from grace. Okay, and with that notion of him being pulled down from grace, he's in free fall.
Yep. Scriptures say, "Behold, I saw Satan falling as lightning." I had a precept too. But no, finish your point, Baba Shah.
That was in Luke. I perceive that because through the Spirit party, how about Shemel Shai, which has put this man on top, has literally caused this man to fall. All right, Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, but I was going to pull that Sirach 25 and 7.
You got it.
All right. Bible shot. This is Sirach chapter 25 verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. It says, a man that has joy in his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like we don't here on this side, some brothers have kids, some brothers get to see their kids, prosper. All right, but most of that doesn't happen to people in this truth. All right, so that's going to happen in the kingdom. But to see the fall of our enemies, we're watching Esau fall. Free fall.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we've only dreamt of and hoped for, but we're seeing a lot live in action.
Yep. The beautiful thing about it, if I may, is Esau can't see that he's making his own bed. He's the Lord got Esau in the spirit to where he's so proud, all right, and he's so mentally ill and sick that he really thinks he's getting ready to successfully establish his NWO. But on the flip hand side of that, when you look at it prophetically and you look at it through the scriptures, we see that all he's doing is preparing his own destruction, and it's a beautiful thing, like the brother's going into.
But you got it.
Did you finish that? I got something to go with it. This is Job chapter 14 and verse 5. Mm. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All right. And that just means that there's a limit, all right, to Esau's rulership. All right. Esau's rulership is not everlasting. It's not perpetual. It's going to be ended. All right. And it's going to be ended in our lifetime very soon. All right. We'll see what these next 6 months to a year and a half look like, but things are getting interesting. And you can tell that the spirit that's on these devils, the spirit that's on Trump and his administration, all right, in which they're all puppets, right? They're all front men, all right, just representing, the real, elite banking families and technocrats behind the scenes, weirdos, all right? But you can see that the spirit is on them to hurry up and get this thing going,
And if I may say that MOTB, is one of those things that they're going to use to help speed this thing up. So that's how about Shemel Shai has linked everything up,
mm-hmm.
in a row. Yeah, warp speed.
Right.
Right. Just so he can think that he can live forever, just to get that perpetual, boot.
Yeah.
But you got it.
Khan, you mind if I go ahead and jump into this article? Khan, this is article on apnews.com, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it, bring out some precepts. All right. It says the title, it says NATO in disarray after the US announces that its security priorities lie elsewhere. All right. Now, when you go into NATO, all right, which stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Association. All right, when you go into the history of NATO, all right, you'll learn that NATO was created basically to combat the Soviet Union, all right, which is a modern day, Russia. All right, so you can understand. All right, so its entire existence was predicated around, basically subduing, Gog and Magog, Russia.
Yeah.
All right, the bear that the scriptures speak about. All right, so I'm gonna read this title again, because I really want to get into this. It says NATO is in disarray after the U.S. announces that its security priorities lie elsewhere. All right, now I want to look up this word disarray. All right, because when you read the scriptures, the Bible tells you, all right, that Esau's power structure, all right, in the form of NATO and the EU, that will be dismantled. All right, that's a part of biblical prophecy. Okay, so I'm going to get this word disarray. And if you have any precepts or anything, by all means. When you get this word disarray, all right, the word dis as a prefix means not, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but it says a state of disorganization or untidiness. All right, it says confusion. In the thesaurus, it says confusion, chaos. All right, a mess, a muddle, a clutter, a mix-up.
Yeah.
All right, and that links up with Daniel 2. All right, the feet mixed with miry clay, The iron mixed with miry clay,
which is a mix-up.
Yep, I'm gonna pull that real quick. Okay, because when you go into NATO and the EU, all right, which is Esau's power structure. Matter of fact, let me not get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Let me read Revelation 13 real quick. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." All right. Now, when you go into this vision, John did see an actual beast. All right. But this beast represented a kingdom, a power structure. And we know that because of the Daniel chapter 7.
Yeah.
You know, Daniel chapter 7, you know, he also saw beasts, but those beasts were broken down to represent empires. All right. And that's why the scriptures tell you to go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, because that's how you know, extrapolate and make sense of the scriptures.
Yeah. Because it says also with a stammering lip and with another tongue will he speak to his people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's that, you know, another tongue. You know.
It's in code.
Yeah, it's pulling out the ancient way. You know, the old path to understand what we're going into.
Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
Con, I'm gonna keep reading on this. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2. All right, it says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." All right, and that leopard represents the Greeks. It says, "And his feet were as the feet of a bear." All right, and your feet are the end of you, the end of something. All right, that's what feet represent. All right, and that bear represents Russia. You know, and you can do your own research on, you know, why the bear is likened unto Russia. When you go into the history, you know, like early, you know, 20th century, like the early 1900s, when you had a lot of propaganda going out, all right, during World War I, World War II, etc. Right, you literally had, you know, news articles, media articles. They would liken Russia unto a bear, you know, but that's really scriptural. That's all prophetic. All right, so we know who that's talking about. Let's keep going. It says, "And his mouth was as the mouth of a lion." All right, representing Great Britain. It says, "And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." All right, going into the ancient Roman Empire, you know, because America is a spitting image of the ancient Roman Empire. It's Rome 2.0, you know. But I just want to bring this out so when we jump into the article, you know what I'm saying? We got a good base. This is Revelation 13 and 3. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." All right. And that's going into basically the fall of the Western Roman Empire. All right. So we should probably pull, let me get Malachi 1 and 4. If you get that before me, you can read it off the show.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Shemel Shai host."
Yep.
It says, "They shall build, but I will throw them."
Mm-hmm.
It says, "And they shall call them the border of wickedness."
Yep.
And the people against whom Yahweh Shemel Shai have indignation forever.
Yep. And that precept right there encapsulates a whole lot of history, you know, but that history is specifically going into the fall of the Roman Empire and then the Renaissance.
Done.
You know, and you break that word Renaissance down.
It goes into rebirth.
Right. The rebirth.
You know, so it's the rebirth of the Roman society, you know, coming back again, which is bringing out America.
Right. Modern day NATO, EU, and the whore, which right upon the beast.
Yeah.
You know, so I just wanted to get that, you know, I wanted to get that to water. But let me read verse 4 too, because this is important. It says, "And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him?" All right, and that's important right there, you know, because that beast, all right, Esau's power structure in the form of NATO and the EU has been dominating the planet Earth. All right, and it's been dominating the planet Earth because they have had superior military power, right? The sword, scriptures go into how Esau was blessed with the sword. Genesis 25 or 27. You want to speak on it?
Yeah, but I just wanted to say that that great sword that he did receive, he's been passing out around the world. Everybody has that. That's where the weak stay down the strong.
Yep. Yep.
So that's going to be a thorn in their side as well.
Yep.
All right, but
yep.
Not to get too far off the point.
No, that's spot on, bro. Because Esau, he's the biggest weapons dealer in the history of fucking planet Earth, man.
Yeah.
Distributing these all these weapon systems.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be part of the reason he's destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, but between that and the chariots,
right?
Call it out by Shai,
right.
But
yep. Let me read this verse again. It says, Revelation 13:4. It says, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him? All right. And that links up with prophecies where it goes into how the weak are going to say they're strong, because these other nations are getting to the point, all right, to where they've had enough, man. They've had enough, and they're willing to go out, guns a-blazing.
With a bang.
But I'm going to get back into this article because this article is showing you how we're getting closer to this prophecy being fulfilled, which is actually have this held. All right, this is the prophecy I'm talking about. This is Revelation 17:16.
Ooh.
It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, and those 7 heads and 10 horns, right? The 7 heads is talking about, right, the French, the Spanish, the British, Germanic Major, Germanic Minor. All right, the Greeks and the Romans.
Yep.
All right, and the 10 horns, basically being those subsidiary, kingdoms that operate underneath those heads. But the scriptures again, they tell us that NATO is going to crumble. It's going to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I mentioned that Daniel 2. But let me go ahead and get into this. There we go. All right. It says Brussels. All right. It says in just one speech, the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth this week, the most powerful member of NATO, has thrown the world's biggest military alliance into disarray, raising troubling questions about America's commitment to European security. It says Hegseth told almost 50 of Ukraine's Western backers on Wednesday that he had joined their meeting to directly and unambiguously express that stark strategic realities prevent the United States of America from being primarily focused on the security of Europe.
And, and that's that Ukrainian deal.
Yep.
All right. That America started.
Right.
To take out Russia.
Right. I got a precept for you to help you make your point, if you want it.
No, I'm about to show you that.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5.
Oh,
it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
So he doesn't keep it at home.
Mm-hmm.
He goes around the world, starting these proxy wars. All right, and that's what Ukraine was. Ukraine was a proxy war,
right,
to milk Russia of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they dwindle in size of their army. All right, because it was supposed to be something that affected them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but really it affected America.
Yep.
All right. Then on top of that, their soldiers are more broadly, more masculine.
Yep.
Than what the American soldiers are putting out.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna read the next verse.
Shot.
It says, I'm gonna read verse 5 again. It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine," right, and that wine represents his philosophies.
Yes, philosophy.
Because not only it's not enough that he's pushing all these weapon systems and all this, bullshit around the planet Earth, these wicked devices and inventions. But guess what? He's also destroying the cultures and the people.
That's why I talked about him passing around this Mo agenda.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Because in Russia, all right. Salaki,
no, you good.
Cut off from the point.
No.
You got it. In Russia, that's frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's frowned upon. You'll get your life ended.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And over here in America, they're still marching. In New Zealand, they were trying to do that Pride march, and they got stuck with the haka.
Yep. Yep. A lot of these other nations are not with that shit. China too.
China is another major not with that.
Yep.
Not fucking around crew. Yep. Because these are places where you can get put to death for it. All right. That whole Cleveland to Sodom and Gomorrah is only a Babylon the Great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Only a Babylon the Great thing.
Yep.
But
yep, I'm gonna read this again.
Shot.
It says, "Yea, also because he transgresses by wine." And okay, I remember my point. I was gonna say it's almost like, because the scriptures say, "Woe to him that give his neighbor drink."
Yeah, they put it in a bottle to him.
Like at the beginning of the party, it's cool.
Yeah,
everybody's trying to have fun, have a good time, but it gets to the point to where when you get too fucked up, you don't want the bottle no more.
All right, bro.
You don't want the wine no more.
Man, nigga, damn, stop.
That's where the other nations are at.
Yeah, because like just like it says in that verse, he transgressed by wine. Okay, finish it out.
Yep, it says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people.
All right, so whenever that bottle gets put to you, that's like you're in this moment of bliss.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna put my point across.
Yep.
For everything, but it goes into other characteristics of him.
Yep.
He is as death. He nobody want to be around him.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And that precept is one you can use because when you go into NATO, NATO has been expanding. It's been growing.
Yeah. So
over the last few decades, like I'm just tying into your point because you had mentioned we were talking about Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
And when you go into Ukraine was a result of NATO expansion and the U.S. basically not knowing how to mind its own goddamn business, right? Wanting to be in everybody else's shit.
And that's what that part that you spoke about was.
Mm-hmm.
It was NATO pressing up against Russia,
right?
Being so like he was poking the bear.
Mm-hmm.
They were poking the bear to and trying to phrase.
Yep.
To bolster them to go into a war.
Yep.
All right. And so with that, NATO doesn't have the backing of America anymore. All right. NATO is going to be left out there to get devoured, and Babylon the Great is going to go back into its what's that called?
Get backed into a corner.
Nah. back into because Babylon the Great is trying to get back into that thinking of themselves.
Right.
That
Nationalists.
Yeah, nationalists. Solitary.
Right. So right. They're secluding themselves.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of like.
But they can't do that anymore.
It's the spirit though, because that's how you know the scriptures say the third woe cometh quickly.
Yeah, the third woe cometh quickly.
Anytime. Oh no, you got it.
I was
just gonna say, like, because when you go into the history during World War I or World War II, you always have the dynamic of global superpowers wanting to stay out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like here it is, Babylon the Great done caused all this madness all over the world, and now they want to
shrink back.
Yep.
You know, going, y'all got it. Yep. Instead of, fighting the fight that, so really, they're showing that they're scared.
Yep, they look like a hoe.
They're showing that they're scared,
I appreciate
because they choose to pick their battles at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
So they would rather isolate, instead of getting into a bigger war with Ukraine, and they're gonna stay over here with Israel, okay, because that's who they have mainly funded was Israel. Yep. All right, and I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the small hats. All right. But
yeah, I got some. Let's get you go like this. It's a Sirach 13:1. All right, we're gonna read a few verses down because this is basically what Esau is doing.
Yep.
To these other European nations. He's using them and then he's throwing them. He's discarding them. This is a Sirach 13:1. It says, "He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith. And he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him." And that's the relationship that it's been up until this point. All right, between the whore, all right, and the beast. All right, the Babylon the Great, all right, and NATO and the EU. Babylon the Great has just been benefiting off of this power structure, been benefiting off of these agreements. It says, verse 2. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna jump down verse 3. It says, "The rich man have done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal." And that's Trump right now.
Yeah, that's Trump. Because he has done so many things wrong in his life. All right, that like you can't number or name all of them. Okay, because he's being such a proud man. Never accepting his punishments, for them.
No, you good. Yep, he's the poster child for being proud.
Yeah,
literally. He's the mascot, the image. This is Sirach 13 and verse 3. It says, "The rich man have done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal." Right, and again, if I can make a point on that too, because it's like, bro, America has fucked up the whole world, and now they're trying to simultaneously play the victim, like Trump with the whole trade thing. Oh man, these other nations have been, doing us wrong with trade deals.
He's been saying that for years. He's been saying that through Biden's presidency.
Yep.
Going how they don't put in their fair share. That they still owe us from World War II. Spirit. But
and then the whole immigration thing.
Shit.
Over here and in Europe, because the immigration crisis has started really in Europe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With all those Arabs.
Yeah. Arabs in Africa.
Traveling up there. But the whole reason the immigration crisis started is because the West destroyed these nations that these people were living in.
Yeah.
So if they didn't destroy the nations that they were living in, they would have no need to flee for refuge.
That's why Yahweh Shemiah Shai set up this whole thing to pop.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep. This is verse 4. It says, "If thou be for his profit, he will use thee." Actually, slightly. Let me read verse 3 again. It says, "The rich man have done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal. The poor is wronged, and he must entreat also.
So the people, that were coming over was still trying their best to pay them, to continue having good relations with him, but yet,
there's no justice. There's no balance, man.
No, because it's a false balance.
Right.
And that's an abomination to Yahweh.
Yep.
But
this is verse 4. It says, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee, but if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. And that's what America is doing right now. Okay.
He's forsaking these other nations.
To NATO and the EU. They being a hoe. And they starting an issue. All right. They're the reason behind the issue. And then when shit gets serious, gets costly, all right, they're nowhere to be found.
And that's what America's trying to do. America trying to pull out and take their ball and go home.
Yep. I'm gonna read the next verse. It says, if thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak the fair and say, what wantest thou?
Because like what all these countries wanted was sovereignty in their own borders. That's it.
Yep.
And what he took away through democracy, demo meaning demon, Christy meaning rule of the demon.
Yep, demonic rulership.
Yeah. So through that, he caused all hell to break loose. Again with the morality, he's instilled these things in place to warp the minds of their people, all right, and to allow his philosophy to thrive.
Yep. I have a preset unless you have something.
No, you got it.
Yep. Because we're gonna shift gears, right? I mean, we'll get a little bit more of this article, but I want to read a little bit of this Obadiah 1 real quick. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. All right. So again, man, all these things that Esau is doing are leading to his destruction. He's not going to get away with all these things he's doing on the planet Earth. The scriptures talk about how Yahweh Shem Shai is a power of justice and judgment. All right. The only reason Esau has been elevated to this level is so he could be made an example of. All right. Verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
And they're talking about Esau, Edom, and all his cohorts. All right. He has made them small among the heathen. That means less in number.
And then going into his reputation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But because in the year 2000, birth rates have fallen in the Edomite culture. All right. They're the smallest now, even in American history. They are being shown that they don't have the highest birth rates.
Yep, they're the basis of men.
They're the basis. Yep. They have a set number, and most of them aren't boys. Most of them are girls.
Yep. Quick one.
Go ahead.
You can speak on it if you want. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3 says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
That falling away was whenever Israel fell from grace.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And that man of sin, is Esau, Edom, who is now falling from grace.
Yep.
And he will never get lifted back up to that level ever again.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
But if you had more beat on that,
I was gonna read through it a little bit. This is verse 3. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, that thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?"
All right, and we know who.
Right.
We know that how by Shemi Ashai is going to bring you down to the ground. Hell, I pray even below the ground. Okay, because you don't have to come up from them caves.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
they're gonna try to hide in these bunkers. Right? Yeah. All these military underground fucking military installation domes.
Yes, that's what they're called. Mm-hmm. They're called domes.
Yep.
You know,
underground cities and shit.
Yeah, because how about Shemi Ashai is going to search you out. Okay, and call him like how about Shemi Ashai that we get to be a part of that. Lord's will that we are a part of the hopeful elect.
Yep.
You got it.
This is let's see, verse 7. We jump down, and it says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border." All right, meaning that basically you about to go to war. Basically you about to have to fight.
You're about to go to war, just like the nation of Israel. Mm-hmm. In that Psalms chapter 83. Mm-hmm. In order for y'all to put us in captivity, it took the whole known world to band together and to put one nation down. All right.
Yep.
All right, to put one nation down.
Psalms 83.
Done. Mm-hmm. And the same thing is going to happen to you.
Right.
Right? Because you were the chief enemy of the nation of Israel. Mm-hmm. All right. Now you are looking at a world that is against you.
Yep. This is Obadiah 1:7. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border." All right. And a confederacy is an alliance. All right. The same way we just broke down NATO. NATO is an alliance. Right. Yeah. That alliance is getting ready to be broken.
Yep.
All right. And when it talks about have brought thee even to the border, I'll give case in point. Right before Ukraine was invaded by Russia, all right, what happened? You had a troop buildup on the Russian border, bordering Ukraine. Yeah. So that's something that you do before war is going to take place.
Just so you can have all the pieces there.
Yep. You're posturing. Yeah, what they call it. It says, "The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him."
So your allies, they're been fronting that they are with you, but really they are against you.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
I have a priest, another one.
Oh, sure.
It's lucky, man.
No, you good.
It says Isaiah 47:11. Mm-hmm. And when you read this chapter is you can link this up with that Obadiah 1 because it is also talking about the fall of Babylon the Great, the fall of Esau. It says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." All right. So again, man, this is why it's on the spirit of the elders and apostles on down, brothers. All right. This is a day-to-day thing. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know. Like, yes, we have a understanding of the prophecies to, a certain level. The Lord, is supping with us, you know what I mean? Giving us the heads up on things. But at the end of the day, man, like, you should be on a high alert at all times, really. Luke 21:36. Yeah. "Watch ye therefore and pray always." Because shit is about to get go up here in Babylon the Great, man.
Especially here, right? It's so much, going on, especially with the
illegals.
Yeah, the illegals. They're still over here.
Right.
Okay.
Spirit, I was just about to say that.
They haven't gotten everybody, and like a large bulk of them, anything can happen.
Nope.
Anything can happen. It's all to the will, strength, and power. How about Shemai Shai to pop this off at his time during his desire?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got it.
Yep, and that's beautiful because that actually goes right into the next paragraph on this article, right? Because the U.S., as you said, like the scripture's going to the fanners shall fan Babylon, right? I believe it's either Jeremiah 50 or 51, right? And when you go into that word fanners, it goes into foreigners, all right? So all those illegals that are here in the States, they have a role to play in prophecy, all right? And we're going to see how it plays out. But in this article, it says, I'm going to reread this paragraph. It says, Hegseth told almost 50 of Ukraine's Western backers on Friday that he had joined their meeting to directly express that stark strategic realities prevent the United States from being primarily focused on the security of Europe. But the next paragraph is going to tell you why. It says the United States faces consequential threats to our homeland. We must and we are focusing on security of our own borders.
So they're pretty much saying that they're about to do a civil war here in Babylon the Great just to purge out the illegals or those that are against them, and
yep.
And like they don't have time for NATO shit right now. Right? They gotta deal with this, and then maybe later. But that's gonna be an insurrection upon the men of the Lord. That's gonna be an insurrection. So they're spread too thin. They don't know what to do. Yep. They just know they have to do something.
Right.
But you got it.
Yep. Beautiful point. Beautiful point. Sorry, I had to change the title real quick. I had to add NATO and Disarray. Just add it to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going just a little bit on this. It's not a long article, it's short.
Okay.
But it says, reading the riot act to U.S. allies, Hegseth said that Ukraine will not get all its territory back from Russia and will not be allowed to join NATO.
No, because if they want Russia to go full on war mode, they would have accepted Ukraine into NATO. Okay, but NATO don't want the smoke. Yep. they don't want the smoke. It's gonna be very, very crucial for them to hey, you're not gonna get all your lands. Thank you for playing the game. Go back home. And they're gonna send Ukraine back to Russia. Okay, but Ukraine still owes a debt to America because of all the billions and trillions of dollars that was sent out. That wasn't a fucking gift. That was a loan. Okay, you have to pay us back for all that. And then on top of that, I think Zelensky said that we didn't get all the money. That $175 billion, we only received $75 billion. We don't know where the $100 billion went.
Yeah, that's a whole nother because the whole money laundering, the USA,
ID and all that shit.
Esau set up this system to be one big joke.
Yeah,
it's a big fucking everything that takes Ponzi scheme.
And then Doge and all that. So like they literally did that to cause order out of chaos. You know, to come in with the
system,
with the new system, and to come in and tell the people like, hey, we don't know what happened to all the money. We're going to use AI to find it, and that's going to be another bag of tricks.
Yep,
right there. But
I'm gonna read this last paragraph, and then whatever other precept come to mind. But I have only one left. It says he insisted NATO will not be involved in any future force that might be required to police peace in Ukraine. European and other nations will, but the Europeans will have to pay for it. No American troops would take part in such an operation.
Ooh, no. No American troops is going to help you. Yep. All right? Because the troops that are here are going to be sent to Israel. All right? You're going to go fight in the sand dune, in the Valley of Yehoshaphat. All right? Because, we don't have anything to do with Ukraine now that Trump's in there. Yep. Now, if Biden's still in there and he still wanted to get a couple billion, he'll send some money over there just to keep it going. All right.
Yep.
But now that Trump's here, he don't want to deal with that. All right. He's going to deal with the Valley of House Pot, right, and get drug into that war.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And if I may, I was just going to make the point that by the U.S. doing that, that is going to lead to the further decline of Europe.
Yep.
Because Europe is already fucked up because of this whole situation in the first place.
Yep.
The Nord Stream pipeline getting blown up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, life in Europe is that shit ain't
hell.
ain't lifing. You know, and it's about to get worse. It's about to get much worse. And this is all prophecy. That's the essence of the lesson, man.
Hey, and call it out by Shemuel Shai, man, because we are seeing the downfall of our enemy on multiple fronts.
Yep.
Okay. It's not just we're going to go to Israel and boom. No, it's because Babylon has such a hold on the planet. The planet. All right. It's not just in one spot. It's in a lot of spots all around the world.
Many waters.
All right. So that means that whenever he falls, it's going to be that much great. Mm-hmm. You know, it's going to be that much greater. Salakia. You know, so yeah. All this to say, how about Shemuel Shai has literally put in work on every avenue, so there's no escape, and so every I is dotted, every T is crossed. Okay, so holy hell can reign through the spirit of Yahweh Shemuel Shai.
Yep, I got something to close with.
Oh, sure.
This is Revelation 14:8. It says, "And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." And I want to get this word "fallen" just for edification. I never went into it. It says Strong's G4098. It says pipto. All right. It says to descend from a higher place to a lower, to be thrust down, metaphorically to fall under judgment, to come under condemnation.
And that's what Edom's going to do. He's going to come and get that condemnation that was already set for him to have. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's not going to get away from his blessing, or
his curse.
His curse. It's a lot here, you know. But hey,
son of perdition.
Hey, and that's his blessing is that he gonna receive that L. Yep. You know.
Yep.
Hey,
Well, did you have anything else?
Nah.
Kind of. Well, Lord's willing, you know, this was edifying. Just wanted to go into that article, man. You know, get a prophecy, you know, boost. You know, because when we see these things take place, it's a boost in the spirit. You know, it's a boost in the spirit, like you, the brother was saying. You know, the Lord is putting in work. The Lord is working, man. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makakwadash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And shalom to the next lesson.
Shalom and shalom.